back to Nier. The time of day has shifted between the last video and this one, and it is quite lovely, honestly. I like the way the lighting looks in this game, which is definitely not the prettiest game I've ever played. So between this video and the last one, I caught the 7 rainbow trout that I needed for the Fisherman's Gambit, and on the way just killing enemies here and there, I ended up leveling up to level 13 right there, and we need 15,500 experience, so I think 14's a decent ways away. So first things first, we are going to go give Yona the melon that we got at Seafront. And I think that in the interest of what I want to do with this playthrough, I'm going to do the side quests I can right now, and then go back to Seafront and pick up a few there and do a few there. And then I'm going to continue the main story for a while, because I think things are getting really, really interesting. I got your melon, Yona. Thanks, Dad. If there's anything else you want, just let me know. Well, since you offered, would you mind getting me a watermelon? A watermelon, you got it. Yeah, so this quest is not done at just a melon. I think we have to get a watermelon, and then I wouldn't be surprised if we have to get a third item too before the quest is actually done. Oh, we have a letter to check. Dear Dad, today was awesome. Popola made me this huge cake that was really yummy, and everyone in the village has been wishing me happy birthday. It's fun. I feel like a princess or something. I don't feel sick today at all. In fact, I almost forgot I had this disease. So maybe you can forget about it too and come back home now, Yona. That's incredibly sad to learn that Nier missed Yona's birthday because we were out and about doing whatever it was we've been doing. I forget what day that is. I think in the letters on the loading screen we do know what day that is, but I can't recall right now. So hopefully we won't have to search too far for this book. I wouldn't be surprised if the side quest places it on the second floor just to make us work for it a little bit. Oh, no, here it is, right on the opposite side of where we started. Wait, is this a book of recipes? Most of these seem to require rather exotic species of fish. Yeah, I haven't even heard of some of these. Maybe the tavern chef will have a better idea. Obtain cookbook, so that's for the tavern in Seafront. And we have a few things to do in Seafront, so, and I wrote them down separately right here just so I wouldn't forget. So we'll go to Seafront, do this little checklist I made, and then head to the Forest of Myth. Like Popola said, after getting that strange letter that made dream seem like not a real word to me. So thankfully getting to Seafront won't take too long, as we now have our boar license. Hello, doggy. And I actually do want to get my hands on most of the weapons in this game. In this playthrough, I want to get at least one, or I was going to say one copy of every weapon, but there's only one copy of each weapon. Maybe I'll sell those infinite supply of dented metal boards we got at the junk heap, I don't know. That was a little rough. My board drifting skills were not up to par, but we made it. I was so tired today, so I stayed home and hid in bed. I could still hear Devil singing from somewhere, though. I didn't read the last part, but I think it said, hearing Devil sing makes me happy. So now that we're here, we will turn in the cookbook to the tavern guy. I found this cookbook in the library. Oh wow, I haven't seen one of these in a long time. Shark, really? Wow, this is some high-class cuisine. I've never even tried cooking something like this before. The shark fin fried rice sounds amazing. Think you could help me track it down? You can eat shark fins. I mean, sure, I'd be happy to help. Okay, here's the shopping list. 5 sharks, 5 bags of rice, and 5 mushrooms, and thanks in advance. 5 sharks, 5 bags of rice, and 5 mushrooms ought to do it. Many thanks.
It is fascinating how gourmet cuisine can survive even in the midst of a food shortage.
Oh, I guess that's it. Just a quick comment from Vice there, no conversation to be had. I've got the fish. This is the 7 rainbow trout I caught. Well, scratch my back and call me Sally. Them some rainbow trout, alright? You're getting better, young one. Right, time for me to teach you new pearls of wisdom. Let's head over to the harbor there. One month later. Fine work, son, fine work. You're a true man of the sea now, and no denying. I can't believe you made me work on a fishing boat. I oughta cut you in half. The old man is more fearsome than we thought, and our fishing skill is improved. Let's pick up Fisherman's Camp at part 4. Listen, I'm sorry about that whole fishing boat thing earlier, but I thought it the best way to teach you, and it worked, right? This time I got a hankering for 5 bream. Catch 'em and I'll teach you one of my most secret techniques. Well, how can we not? We've already done this 3 times. So since we've exited and come back to Seafront now, I believe that was the trigger for being able to turn in the merchant quest here. It sure was. Good stuff. Hey, how'd the trade go? Oh, it went, fine. It was fine. You don't look happy. Yeah, well, I didn't realize this until I got on the boat, but apparently I get seasick. Horribly, violently seasick. The smell in my cabin was just unspeakable. I had no idea one guy could create that much, barf. I want to stay in the trading business, but I don't think that's possible if I can't sail. Anyway, here's your payment. Thanks again. 10,000 gold. Oof, that's so great. Thanks, and good luck. I never imagined my dreams would be dashed quite like this. What a bummer. Quest a new merchant in town is complete.
It's a tremendous waste of our time.
Who knew the guy would get seasick? Maybe next time he can try finding work that doesn't involve the ocean.
Maybe next time he'll try sitting at home and doing nothing.
And right here is a man with a very suspicious looking hat. Hey, you the kid that ran away from home? Huh? Aw man, how did you? I don't know why you left, but I think you should go back. Your family's sick with worry. No way, they want me to, take up the family business. And I ain't doing it, man. I'm a rebel. Yes, we can see that. Well, perhaps you should let your family know that you are alive and well, and also explain to them why you left. Aw man, people always gotta hassle me. Yeah, alright, I'll do it, but first you gotta do something for me, man. There's this guy that's been helping me since I got here, the man who runs the tavern. Anyway, I want to give him something nice. I was thinking I could, cook dinner or something, but I don't have any ingredients or whatever, so, yeah. Oh, for hell's sakes. Fine, what do you need? This guy, man, he don't eat nothing but fish. All the time, every day, fish, fish, fish. So I was thinking you might, want to try eating meat or whatever. So could you give me, 5 pieces of mutton and 3 pieces of goat meat? I can find the pans and spoons and stuff, so just bring the meat to his place whenever, man. Great, that's everything the runaway kid asked for. Oh, great, that's everything the runaway kid asked for. Time to head back. Good stuff. this place. Well, I'm really happy that worked out the way it did. You know, just to make sure. Can we... Is there anything new here? My leg's still bothering me. No, there is not anything new here. Just wanted to make sure. So we need to turn into the tavern, but there's also one more stop that we need to make before we leave and go to the Forest of Myth. Hey, you the guy that's taking care of that runaway? Runaway? What are you talking about? It seems we've been bamboozled. God damn it, when I find that stupid kid. Well, I guess we can tell his parents he's alive, at least. That's probably our next objective, right? Go back to the parents. You've lost the runaway, return to his parents, okay. Something tells me that won't be the end of it. Okay, one more stop. So that quest that I was talking about from this guy also requires you to, so we still haven't started the quest, but it, you have to leave and come back to Seafront in order to initiate the next step to unlock the quest here. Hey, guess what? I went shopping with my girl a little while back. You mean the girl who won't date you unless you take her to fancy restaurants? Yeah, that's her. Anyway, there was this really amazing piece of jewelry on sale, so I bought it for her. I thought she'd be pretty impressed. But she refused to take it. She said that only commoners wear jewelry that was on sale. She sounds like a real class act. Oh, she is. I should have known better than to try to impress her with such shabby flim-flam. Next time I'll ask the merchant to double the price. That's sure to impress her, right? Are you certain this woman even cares for you? Of course she does. You humans certainly have complex and exhausting mating rituals. I tell you, there isn't another girl out there as high class as mine, and that's all we can do for this next step, too. Now, whether or not it's leaving Seafront and then coming back for the next part of that quest or having to go somewhere else, I'm not sure. I want to say that Popola in the library is involved in some way, but I didn't look it up beforehand. It's just my memory probably lying to me. So we'll go back to Nier's village now, and then we'll go straight to the Forest of Myth, because I don't think we advanced any other quest enough. I'll probably end up selling some items once we get to Nier's village too, to see if we can't afford that those weapons from the blacksmith, because specifically Beastbane, the really expensive sword that costs, I think, 1,600 or so. Okay, I want to kill this guy. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I really want to use that sword that costs 16,000. I said 100, I think. So what we're gonna do is use a magic drop and see how much we can do about this. Okay, that's pretty good. Definitely doable as long as I don't take too much unnecessary damage here. Unfortunately, I wish there was a buff timer or something for how long that lasted, but didn't dodge quick enough there. Not giving myself enough time with the button mashing a little too much, but that dodge was good. I wonder if the oh, it looks like we already ran out of that. That's too bad. But Nier's sword seems to be doing a decent amount. And Kaine's helping too. Oh, right over my head. I probably could have waited to just get the, obtain the word souls or solas. Used with all categories, MP recovery rate plus 6%, weapons and magic paralyzed. Pretty good. Oh, that was a really cool move, Kaine. Sorry I interrupted you there. I'm glad to have that done. That did not give us as much experience as I was expecting it to. That's okay. Leveling up isn't too important. Oh, gosh. No, we're gonna ride the spore straight into the village. There we go. And then it's just gonna vanish right beneath our feet. So yeah, I really want to switch to this sword. I can't remember if I ever finished that thought. But let's talk to the parents right now of the runaway. Or rather, the parent of the runaway. Your son come back yet? No, I haven't seen him. Oh, my poor little angel, where could he be? He's in Seafront. Well, he was until he ran away again. Oh dear, did he tell you an elaborate story and then ask for help? My little angel is a bit of a, well, he's a dirty liar. I probably should have mentioned that. Little bastard sent us on a wild goose chase and then gave us the slip. Since I cannot imagine you letting this go, perhaps we should return to Seafront. There may still be a lead or two left to pursue. I'm gonna put that kid in a headlock and drag him all the way back home.
What's wrong?
How can a son bring so much despair to his parents? He seems completely ignorant of the pain he has brought them. It's deplorable.
I love it when you sound like a grumpy old man, Vice.
Perhaps I only sound that way because I have existed since time immemorial.
How old are you anyway?
You know, I'm not exactly sure.
They say memory loss is a sure sign of old age.
That poor family.
Hello.
Alright, so let's see how many dented boards we have. We have 17,000, we have enough to buy it, but I also want to buy the other one. Moldavite, I don't want to sell anything that we only have one of. 20 mutton, probably safe to sell that, but it's not really worth that much. Goat meat, I have 39 goat meat, well that's a decent amount, I don't even know if we need that anymore. 20 venison. We have 49 dented metal boards. Here, we'll sell 39 of those, so we have 10 just in case we need them for weapon upgrades. There we go, decent amount of money now, so let's buy both Beastbane and the Lily Leaf Sword. Especially because we'll take a look at them. Here's the Lily Leaf Sword. Not the coolest looking sword, although its picture makes it look a little bit lamer because it looks more like a little dagger, a kukri or something. So its size makes up for it, but Beastbane is what we really want. Now that right there is a sword, unupgraded from our Rebirth. Oh, we switched to Rebirth. We were at Moonrise +1. Right? Oh no, Nameless Blade level 2. Okay, anyway, I thought we upgraded something, but maybe we didn't. Anyway, we were doing 115. The Beastbane jumps up to 172 without upgrade, so it's a pretty neat weapon. So I know we have a lot more quests to do, or rather, I'm not sure how many we have exactly, but I know there are side quests in Facade now, but I'm going to worry about those later when I absolutely have to, because I want to go to the Forest of Myth, so we'll just head there right now. Thankfully it's in the Northern Plains, really close by. And we have our boar to use. It's so goofy, I love it so much. The only disappointing thing is that Kaine can't ride the boar with us, just has to keep running and teleporting behind us. Which also, that reminds me of another thing. I really, really wish that Grimoire Vice was always out. I'm sure it has something to do with them wanting to decrease screen clutter, but he comes out when we do combat, so it's just unfortunate that he talks, but he's not actually present on the screen in an obvious way. Even if he would just hung out on Nier's, I don't know, his belt or something, it would be a lot better. So here's an interesting gate that leads us straight into the Forest of Myth.
It sure is quiet here.
Such silence bodes ill. There's trouble on the way. I'm sure of it.
That's what I love about you, Vice. You're such an optimist.
Such cheek.
There's an eerie fog around the Forest of Myth, but what really stands out is that gigantic tree right there. And it would seem that everyone lives in hollowed out trees as well. Just big stumps of cut trees with doors. There's a bearded man to talk to right there, but we are going to get a strength capsule that's really good for a glowy. Let's see what else there is to see in the Forest of Myth before we talk to him. Hey. No comment from the only other villager we see, although we immediately see another one. Hello. Real bright and talkative Popola. Another medicinal herb, we needed that, so here's a better look at the big tree. That causes our FPS to tank just a little bit. It seems like there could be a path inside, but no, it just leads to more tree trunk. So let's go back and talk. Oh, didn't even pick up this right here. Sap. Not close enough there. An antidotal weed. Beware. Beware the words. The words. What do you mean? Contagious words. Those who dream. Those who dream. Hold a moment. There's a strange new sensation in my mind. Vice's voice rose in a quizzical way. It is not quizzical. What's going on here? The villager's body shuddered as he slowly opened his eyes. Perhaps we should start by asking this man. Who are you? I'm Nier. This is Vice. We heard something happened to this village, so we came to see if we could help. The villager stared at Nier and Vice. If you can speak to me, I must have caught you in my dream. How's that again? The villager explained. In the past weeks, a mysterious disease called the Death Dream had spread across the Forest of Myth. Those who caught it were cursed to fall asleep and live forever within the world of their own dreams. The village mayor had determined that the Death Dream was spread from person to person by spoken words, but before he could learn more, the disease took him as well. Vice stared at the mayor, his mouth twitching slightly. Now see here, he said. Are you saying that we have been absorbed into your dream? Well, yes, said the mayor. I think you have. Oh crap, said Nier. So that means we've caught the Death Dream. Before the mayor could confirm Nier's suspicion, Vice exploded with rage. Ridiculous, preposterous, completely unfathomable on every conceivable level. I don't even recall falling asleep. The mayor attempted to take Vice's complaints in stride. That's just how the Death Dream works, he said, brushing aside the book's remarks. My remarks shall not be brushed aside, fool, and it would behoove you to remember that this world allows me to view all of its narrations past since coming to the village. Something there must have caused you to enter my dream, said the mayor. A certain conversation, a specific word, something. Nier and Vice racked their brains but could find no easy solutions. There were simply too many words to consider, too much random chatter, too many meaningless conversations. Grimoire Vice does not engage in meaningless conversations. The mere suggestion that Vice chose his words carelessly seemed to sting his pride. It does not seem to sting my pride, you bloated gasbag of a narrator. It has demolished it utterly. Irritated, Vice looked skyward as if searching for answers in the heavens. I was doing no such thing. Just leave me alone already. The anger created by his harsh words bled over to Nier like a contagion. Wait, said Nier suddenly. Did someone just say contagion? Yes, I believe so. What of it? Well, that villager told us to watch out for contagious words, right? The mayor leaned forward with renewed interest, pushing a startled Vice aside in the process. Well, he must have said something, right? Asked the mayor. Some specific combination of words. What was it? It was about dreaming, or something that dreams, or oh, what the hell was it? A sheep, cried Vice suddenly, blurting out the first thing that popped into his head. The others stared at him for a moment before slowly shaking their heads. After a few more minutes of thought, Nier's face suddenly lit up. I remember, he said. Those who dream. That's what he said. I'm sure of it. At this, the mayor produced a thick sheaf of papers from his pocket. He flipped through them a few times before finally nodding his approval at Nier. That sounds right, he said, as a stray sheet of paper fluttered to the ground. My notes also mentioned something about that. I bet it was the last thing you heard before you fell asleep. The mayor shook his head, his worn pencil stub tracing lines across a lone piece of paper. For the last month, I've done nothing but study the disease we call the death dream, he said. I mean, I'm the mayor, right? It's my job to protect people from whatever comes along. But I never expected a couple of outsiders to start entering people's dreams. The mayor paused, a grimace crossing his face. I should probably be taking notes or something. Vice immediately fired back. I applaud the force of will it takes to research a disease in your dreams, he said. But perhaps we should bend your efforts to escaping this place instead of trying to understand it. The mayor's hand tightened across his pencil, snapping it off at the tip. I've tried to escape. From the very first moment I realized I was locked inside my own dream, I've been looking for a way out, but I don't think it exists. I mean, this is my dream, right? If there was an exit, I'd know about it. He paused for a moment, his unfocused eyes staring at nothing. My village was beautiful, he said to no one in particular, and it was filled with the most wonderful people you could ever hope to meet. But once this disease took hold, things changed. It's like someone took a sponge and soaked all of the color out of our lives. I just want us to be whole again. I want us to be free. The mayor's voice took on a note of steely determination, and I won't stop trying until it happens. Nier nodded in agreement. Huh, wait a second, I didn't nod. Why are you? Look, if we can be of any help, said Nier. Just ask. Now hold on, I did not just say that. Silence, cried Vice. The grimoire looked from Nier to the mayor and back again, his face filling with confidence. Grimoire Vice's face is always confident, thank you very much. Now see here, Mayor, you told us that nothing can exist in this dream without your knowing of it. But yet you seemed surprised to see us when we first arrived, yes? The mayor slowly raised his head, realization dawning on his face. Oh my God, he said. You're right. I had no idea you were coming. The human imagination is a limitless engine, said Vice, and dreams are the fuel. If you can imagine an exit, then it must be so. With your permission, we shall search it out. Thank you, said the mayor. I don't know can repay you. Payment is not required. We are as eager as you to be done with this place. The mayor suddenly felt as if he could breathe again. He'd almost forgotten what it was like. Good luck, you two, he called out the departing forms of Nier and Vice. We're all counting on you. As Nier slowly faded into the misty forest, the mayor was struck by a sense of déjà vu. I saw this man once before, he thought. But where? Nier's mood darkened as he trudged through the forest. Hours earlier, when the beauty of the place was still a new thing, he'd been confident they could get in, find the exit, and be home in time for dinner. But the deeper they went, the more the forest closed in around him. The mist made it difficult to see more than a foot in any direction, and moss-covered rocks seemed determined to twist his ankle. More than once he'd been forced to steady himself on the rough bark of a tree, and his hand now left small trails of blood on everything he touched. Additionally, Vice was proving to be a spectacularly poor traveling companion. Unhindered by either terrain or physical effort, he spent most of his time urging Nier to pick up the pace and grumbling about their slow progress. Finally, after Vice muttered something about legless turtles being more adept at navigating the environment, Nier snapped. You know what, Vice, he cried. Go to hell. We're stopping. I need to rest for a few minutes before I throw up. Nier leaned against a tree and tried to stretch the knots from his back. How can this stupid forest be so goddamn big, he muttered to himself. The moment the words tumbled from his mouth, a cacophony of insects sprang to life. As if infuriated by his lack of respect, every imaginable form of buzz, click, and hiss roared out with a volume that rattled his teeth. Nier slapped his hands over his ears and screamed to be heard. Vice, what the hell is going on? Nier could see Vice's mouth moving, but he might as well have been shouting in a tornado. The insects screamed, the forest howled, and then, just as Nier's ears seemed ready to tear from his head and go running for cover, the sound diminished. Hesitantly, Nier removed the hand from his left ear and listened to the creatures of the woods. Zree, 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 zree. Shakaku, shakaku, shakaku. Chick, chick, chee, chick, chick, chee, chick, chick, chee. Woo, woo, wooma. Woo, woo, wooma. Shik, shik, seek. Shik, 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 seek. As the insect symphony dimmed another decibel, Nier began to detect patterns in the sound. This isn't random, he thought. It's not just white noise, it's something else. The insects weren't just calling out, they were asking a question. 1 with it suffers, 2 with it is ideal, 3 with it is dangerous. What is it? By my pages, is this a riddle? I guess so. This kind of thing happens a lot in dreams, right? Maybe it's the key to getting out of this place. Then I leave it to you to answer. 1 with it suffers, 2 with it is ideal, 3 with it is dangerous. What is it? The answer is a secret. The answer is a woman. How the hell should I know? The answer is a secret. Inwardly furious that Vice left the task to him, Nier sighed and gave the only answer that made sense. It's a secret. Right. The sound of the insects stopped as suddenly as it began, the forest undergrowth parting before Nier like a rippling wave, opening a new path. These forest arthropods are making a road for us, said Vice with glee. Pleased at passing the test, Nier moved on with new intensity. The path offered his body relief from the undergrowth, but gave even greater cheer to his mind. As long as they were on a path, their journey had a purpose. I guess the forest has accepted us, huh? Said Nier after a bit. Vice spun around to face his companion. Do not mistake the will of this forest for some happy pet you can suddenly befriend. We have no idea where this path leads. As Vice finished speaking, the pair turned a corner and found themselves facing a clear forest Smiling, Nier picked up a small rock and sent it skipping across the surface of the water. Good heavens, said Weiss. His surprise was understandable. Each time the rock struck the surface of the water, a musical note rang out. When the rock finally stopped moving and sank to the bottom of the spring, the ripples it left behind came together to form words. I enter through the window, but I break no glass. When night falls, I vanish. What am I? Absurdly easy, barked Weiss. Now answer it. Nier grit his teeth and tried not to reach out and strangle his companion. He's right after all. This one is pretty easy. I enter through the window, but I break no glass. When night falls, I vanish. What am I? A bird, a letter, sunlight. Sunlight. A plume of water suddenly burst from the spring. Sunlight filtered through the trees and reflected off the plume, creating a shimmering rainbow that spanned the entire horizon. In all my years, said Weiss softly, I have never seen such a sight. Perhaps I have misunderstood the intentions of this place. Hey look, cried Nier, awaking Weiss from his daze. There's a house or something over there. Glancing in the direction of his friend's extended hand, Weiss saw a small cottage nestled among the trees. That's weird, isn't it, Weiss? I mean, who would build a house all the way out here? Nier walked over and pounded on the door. After a minute of solid banging, the door cracked open and a small man peered out. His body was cloaked from neck to toe in a large black cape, while his face was obscured by mist. Began Nier, but before he could get any further, the cloaked man held a hand up and began speaking. I have 4 legs in the morning and 2 at noon, but I end the night with 3. What am I? Nier tried to ask the cloaked man who he was and what he was doing there, but he simply repeated the question. If we wish to engage this man in conversation, said Weiss, it seems we must answer his riddle. Yeah, I suppose, said Nier. Well, at least it's an easy one. I have 4 legs in the morning and 2 at noon, but I end the night with 3. What am I? A man, a demon, an angel. A man. A man. The mist dissolved from the cloaked figure as he spoke a single word. Correct. With that, the man flung his garment aside, revealing his true identity. You're the mayor, cried Nier. The small man slowly shook his head. I am not the mayor you know. Now listen to my words. Long ago, I saw a version of you that was not yourself. You saw what? I'm sorry, I don't understand a thing you just said. It will make sense in time. At present, I simply congratulate you on cracking the seal of the death dream. Now you must go to the man at the forest entrance. With that, the man turned on his heel and slammed the door behind him. As Nier watched, mist seeped up from the ground and enveloped the cottage, erasing it from existence. When Nier and Weiss returned to the forest entrance, they found the mayor leaning against a tree. As soon as he caught sight of the duo, he sprang to his feet and scrambled over to them. Good gravy, he cried. You made it. You actually made it back. His left hand grasped Nier's and pumped it so fiercely it threatened to dislodge it from the socket, while his right seized Weiss by the cover and swung him through the air. Ah, by the heavens, stop shaking me, fool. We have not even told you if we were successful or not. The mayor smiled broadly and shook his head. I'm just happy you're alive. I didn't think I'd ever see you again. Nier withdrew himself from the mayor's eager handshake with a slight smile. We broke the death dream seal, he said. At least, I think we did. The mayor's face beamed as Nier filled him in on the details. When the tale was done, the 3 of them laid down on the forest ground and fell asleep. Wait a second. That's crazy. Why would we just lay down and go to sleep? This is one hell of a story. Cease your endless prattle and go to sleep, fool. Fighting against the rules of this place is futility itself. Nier and the mayor obediently reclined atop the grassy earth. Have you forgotten, continued Weiss, it is words that control the death dream, words that allow us to move from place to place. natural they seem, the words are absolute. Therefore, if the words tell us to sleep, then sleep we shall. And once we do, the story will continue. With that, the trio found their eyes growing heavy, their breath slowing. "This is the first time," began the mayor. "The first time I felt tired since I was imprisoned here." His words were cut off by a loud, long yawn, and he remembered nothing more. They might have slept for an hour or a year. When they awoke, things had a slightly more real quality to them. The mist felt thicker, the leaves greener. It was clear that they had awakened from their dream. Nier shook the mayor's shoulder gently. "Good news," he said. "We made it." "Oh wow," said the mayor in an awed voice. "We did. I'm back." He blinked once, twice, as though not quite believing the sight before him. "You two have no idea how much this means. The death dream had started to spread through our village, and I wanted to, well, I thought I could figure out how to stop it, but I guess that wasn't the case. I must have caught the disease and become trapped in my own dream." The mayor started to stand, then collapsed back to the earth. He stared at his legs as if trying to remember how they worked, then glanced at Nier and shrugged. Without a word, the fighter reached down and pulled the mayor to his feet. "Real life may take some getting used to." A wry smile crossed the mayor's lips. "You shall relearn in short order, I'm sure," said Weiss. "For now you should return to your home and rest." "No," said the mayor, swaying on unsteady feet. "No, I can't. Some of the villagers are still trapped in the death dream. I have to save them." The mayor slowly made his way to the divine tree in the center of the village and then bowed his head and prayed silently. "This is a holy tree," he explained when the prayer was finished. "It's the guardian of our village's history and memories." "Superstition will only make our mission harder," muttered Weiss. "We should not put our faith in the gods." The mayor shook his head. "Not the gods, the words. Legend says that our tree is home to a powerful magic known as a sealed verse." Nier and Weiss could not contain their surprise. It seemed a goal had been found in the most unexpected of places. "I say," muttered Weiss, "this is certainly a stroke of luck." As the three of them said their goodbyes, Nier mentioned the strange man who had given them the third riddle and the mysterious words he had left them with. "I once saw a version of you that was not yourself," muttered the mayor. "What in the world?" Lost in thought, he stared into space for a long moment. "You know," he said softly, "this is going to sound weird, but I had a feeling I'd seen you before too." Nier tried to keep a straight face and failed, but the mayor didn't seem to notice. "Deja vu, right? Anyway, I figure it's just some kind of illusion created by the death dream. It probably doesn't mean anything." Nier gave the mayor a nod and a smile, but inwardly his thoughts were racing. There's something wrong about the mayor and his words. I wish I understood what the hell was going on here. That riddle would prove to be the most difficult one of all. "Oh, thank you so much. Now I can finally return to a normal life. This is one of the most bizarre diseases I have ever encountered. I know, that's why I have to help the other villagers, no matter what." Obtained a sealed verse. Obtained dark execution magic. Dark execution summons magical spikes from the ground to impale enemies. Charged to increase the number of spikes. You remember that one from the first video, at least I do. I loved that move. For a sealed verse, that didn't take much effort. Yes, all a touch too easy if you ask me. It's almost as if someone was guiding us to this village. You think too much, Weiss. So, we are at 45 minutes. This has gone on a really long time, but I really did not want to shorten that segment at all because it comes so far out of left field and it gets so engaging so quickly. So, I'll end it quick. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see if we can't do anything about the other villagers in the Forest of Myth in the next video. Thank you so much. I was really